So thanks, Tim. And as Tim said, yes, my name is Jesse Ryan. I am the founder and self-ordained chief sales guy at High Road Human Capital. I've got former colleagues in the room. I've got former clients in the room. I've got existing clients in the room. So anybody that knows me, the next thing I'm going to say is going to be a little bit shocking. Tonight, I'm not going to try and sell you anything. I promise. However, before we proceed, I'm going to ask you to indulge me. I'm going to ask you to indulge me in a bit of a humble brag, and hopefully it'll make sense. So I, Jesse Ryan, standing before you now, is a former 5-time Ontario karate champion. It's true. Former. Don't ask me to touch my toes. It's not going to be pretty. Let's put my money where my mouth is. Let's look at that for a second. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. I've been doing this 22 years. There's some people in the room that have known me a long time. How can that be you, Jesse? This individual has hair. There was a time. So not only do I have hair in this photo, I'm also covered in my own blood. And that would be Dr. Murray of the Karate Ontario team snapping my nose back into place in the middle of a gold medal match, which I did go on to win. So what's the point of this? 5 gold medals in a row. Spectacular. Or is it? Well, in my dojo and in my club, these were good results, but they were pretty ordinary. I went to an exceptional club, and what was exceptional about it is they insisted on mastery of the basics, mastery of the fundamentals, the foundation. Yes, some of us have a little bit more talent than others, a little finesse, but when you have mastery of the foundation, you can go a long, long way in your process. So, case in point, if you went to, you'd probably be thinking, oh, karate champion, you'd probably jump in the air and do spinning roundhouse kicks and what have you. There was a time, and those things are cool, but if you went on YouTube and you looked up the World Championship of Karate, I probably guarantee you 9 out of 10 chance that the gold medal match is going to be won by something as simple as a reverse punch to the body. Okay? So, a little finesse plus fundamentals, it's a recipe for victory. What the hell does all this have to do with anything talent-centric? Well, I've been in recruitment and in the talent game for 22 plus years at this point, and like many of you in the room that are also in the talent game, who comes to you when they're on the market? Friends, family, current clients, former clients. Jesse, can you take a look at my resume? Jesse, can you keep your eyes open for me? If you see a really hot posting, can you look for me? And I did just that. Not too long ago, I was cruising the job boards for one of my friends, my best friend actually, and I got to the end of a job posting. And this is what I saw, or something to this effect. You all know what I'm talking about. Only successful applicants will be contacted. 2 things occurred to me. Number 1, likely chance this is an organization when it comes to recruitment and talent acquisition that does not have a good foundation. They are not masters of fundamentals. And I sat with it for a little while, got kind of visceral, started to get a little anxious, started to get a little angry. Maybe that's a little bit strong. I got perturbed, and 3 words came to my mind. And those words were, how dare you? How dare you slap this on the bottom of your job posting? And it wasn't the how dare you you're probably thinking. It wasn't this how dare you. It really wasn't. And I'll put my money where my mouth is. You might be thinking, how dare you steal how dare you from Miss Greta? Well, I didn't, and I actually looked it up. If you absorb any of my content, you probably know that to get up on a stage like this, for my stuff, it's probably anchored in a LinkedIn article or maybe in a podcast. So I went to Google, and then it got a little weird. What if I told you, number 1, I didn't steal it from Greta. This was actually published September 21st, 2016. I don't know if this is conspiratorial. What if I told you that Greta's breakout UN address was 3 years later to the day? Weird. Anyway, It wasn't that how dare you, nor was it, how dare you take this elitist position on your employment opportunity that you feel is above so many. It wasn't that how dare you. It wasn't how dare you suggest that your time is so valuable that you possibly couldn't get around to hitting the decline button in your applicant tracking system. It wasn't that one either. Nor was it how dare you leave any resumes untouched and risk leaving that elusive needle in the applicant haystack. It wasn't Greta, and it wasn't any of those three. It was, how dare you? How dare you miss out on such a simple yet impactful opportunity to advance your employment brand and the return on investment therein. So I implore you, in fact I demand, screen, disposition, and close out 100% of your applicants, and if you don't, I have 3 words for you, and they are? Very nice, thank you. What you know is this: when you don't screen out your candidates and they're not declined and they're left in limbo, a couple of things are going to happen. You all hear the adage that good news travels fast? You know what travels faster? Bad news. So if you screen your candidates, you're going to get good, and close them out, you're going to get good news, and if you don't, you're going to get bad news. So I think it's pretty clear. When it comes to the candidate experience, which of these 2 phrases would you rather align your employment brand with? I didn't get the job, but at least the company had the common decency to decline me with an ounce of dignity. We're going to come back to that in a second. They seem to have their act together. You'd be shocked. We run about 6 or 7 different ATSs for our clients, and when we send them an auto decline, if it's just a resume fail, you know, it says, do not reply, this email is not for reply. They reply. They reply all the time. And you would be shocked at how many times we get, thank you. We never hear back from anybody. At least I now have some closure. Closure, dignity, and closure. I'll be coming back to both of those. So there's that. That's the upside. The downside, where bad news travels fast, I applied for the job, it's been weeks, I've heard nothing. How many people have been the recipient of the heard nothing as applicants at some point in their career? Well over half of you. So you're living proof of it. Let me put my money where my mouth is. Impossible? Jesse, we get thousands of resumes. How could we possibly screen them all? Can't be done, not enough hours in the day, no ROI. To give you a little context of how I'm able to speak to this with some level of authority, Hire Human Capital, we're a boutique RPO shop. We're a little shop with some really big clients, and we do some really big, cool things. One of the other things we do is we have a very unique activity-based pricing model. So we're able to script out the process in such a way. So don't pay attention to that for now. But what you see here, anybody that knows a little bit about, if not a lot about recruiting, it's a basic process. We're not going to hide it. Resume screening is time intensive and time is money. And you can look at any one of our racks, we've probably got 200 to 300 on the go at any one given time. And without fail, every time, resume screening, which is 4 down, is the most expensive line item. It is expensive, and it almost feels cliche to say, but how can you afford not to? How can you afford not to? So when you don't close out a candidate, and you don't disposition them, and you don't give them some finality, you're depriving them of 2 very key and elemental things, dare I say, primal. I mentioned them before, closure and dignity. Believe it or not, you're probably reading closure and you're like, that's not the definition. If you search Google long enough for a definition, you're going to find something that works for you. And this is a real definition. But why it resonated so much was closure, a sense of resolution or conclusion at the end of an artistic work. Let's think about that. Some of us write articles on LinkedIn. Some of us are professional writers, technical writers, or what have you. But for the vast majority of us, the last thing we wrote or authored, let's put it that way, was in school. Post-school, for many of us, the only thing they've ever authored is their resume. It's personal, right? It's visceral, it's personal. And to them, if you want to put a spin on it, it's artistic. It's your life on a page. They want to make it look pretty. They want to make it resonate. They want words to jump off the page. They want to compel the reader. It's artistic. dare you if you don't think so? Dignity, a state or quality of being worthy of honor and respect. Think about that. They, the applicant, maybe they got headhunted, but the vast majority of applicants see a posting. They took time to click on that posting, rather than to your applicant tracking system. God knows how many hoops you made them jump through in that thing, right? Fill out this form, upload your resume, give them your address, answer this question, test this, test that. They did all of that for you, and you can't hit decline. You don't feel, after all of the effort they've made to find out about you, look at you, research you, apply, they're not worthy of honor and respect? How dare you? So, in closing, provide some closure, treat everyone with dignity, and extend a crap load of empathy, and your employment brand will be much better for it. Thank you.